Profitable traders don't have more luck, more talent, or a better strategy than you. What they have is one simple thing built around them that you don't, and is the only thing that ever actually mattered. Once I put that in place, I finally became profitable. So did the dozens of other traders we have to go from losing to funded. But miss it and you will burn 2 more years blaming the 3 things that were never the problem. The first thing everyone swears you need and you don't is luck. And luck is the most convincing myth of the 3, but before you ever get to call yourself unlucky, a loss has to survive 3 filters. Watch one hand of poker and the guy who hit his card looks like the luckiest man alive, like he downloaded the premium version of luck or something. Watch 10,000 and it's the same few faces at every final table. So when you feel unlucky after a rough handful of trades, the first thing to ask isn't whether you were unlucky, it's am I even looking at enough trades to judge anything at all? Most traders feel unlucky for one reason: they have no idea what normal is supposed to look like. So a 6-loss streak feels like the strategy just died. But that same 6-loss streak that feels like that, your own backtest shows it happened every 30-50 trades and the system still came out green. So the second question is this actually abnormal, or is it sitting right inside the range I already proved? Here is the trap underneath everything. A red trade can be pure variance. Or it can be you. You entered late. Now the loss is unreadable. Was it bad variance or was it you? So the last question is the hardest to ask yourself honestly. Did I actually run the system or did I break it? Then blame the statistics. But there is one kind of trader who contaminates almost every trade without ever realizing it. You will see what I mean soon. But first, the second thing everyone thinks you need and you don't is talent. And I get why this one feels true. You open the charts, candles moving in real time, everyone online throwing around liquidity, order flow, smart money, but talent is just 4 things people misread. Early on, every candle looks important and every setup looks unique. Then you see the same situation a few hundred times and you start telling the real ones from the noise. 2. The clever guy can't leave the setup alone. He adds a confirmation, then another one, then one more. And suddenly the entry needs approval from the United States. And remember the trader I mentioned, contaminating almost every trade without realizing it? This is him. His intelligence is breaking the clean execution he needs to measure anything at all. So the fix is to have rules so clear that your intelligence has nowhere to interfere. 3. You get the concepts, you know what a good setup looks like. That's not where anyone breaks. They break sitting bored doing the same dull thing while someone online posts a 40R win or a 20k payout. So the fix is not more knowledge. It's the ability to keep executing when the strategy is no longer making you feel good. And that restlessness pushes you toward one specific change almost everyone is sure makes them more money when it's quietly bleeding most of it away. I will show you exactly what it is later. 4. Everyone assumes the profitable trader came with some built-in willpower they are missing. He didn't. Alerts instead of staring at candles all day. Max trades per day decided beforehand. The discipline you're admiring, it's in how he set up everything around the trade. So if it's not talent, what's the actual answer? It's the opposite of what everyone reaches for. People try to get smarter, better reads, sharper instincts, some genius call in the moment. But the goal is to need none of that in the moment at all. Because that's the whole trap. The version of you staring at a live position, money on the screen, is the most emotional version of you that exists, and that's exactly the version everyone is trying to make smarter. You don't make him smarter. You build the system so well that he barely gets a vote. Now you know that luck and talent were never your problem, but you can still go broke. The last thing everyone's chasing and you don't need is the perfect strategy. The perfect strategy doesn't exist, and people get this wrong in 2 ways. The first, they think the perfect strategy is the one that makes you the most. Say you decide the dream is 10% a month. Fine, but what if making that 10% means watching candles 6 hours a day every single day, making the right calls for hours straight, or you give it all back? Would you actually want to live like that? If you are saying yes, you are probably still in the honeymoon phase. I've been there, I get it. Now picture the real version. 2 months straight at break-even. 6 hours a day, stress, focus every day for 2 months to end up exactly where you started. Because that will happen. It's just statistics. Now do you still want the 10%? Or would you rather make 5% a month, trading 20 minutes a day and have your life back? The second you see another trader system, it looks cleaner, sharper, more profitable than yours. Of course the grass looks greener. You're comparing your full reality, drawdowns and all, to their best 3 screenshots. Think about the last year. How many times did you jump to a strategy because someone else looked like it was working? And how many of those were actually better versus just newer? So let me actually show you how to build yourself the perfect strategy. It comes down to three things. One, you need a real healthy edge, and inside the math you need balance. Trade too big of a risk reward and one win matters too much, miss it, you're angry, glue to the charts from that moment so you don't miss the next one. Been there, done that. Push your win rate too high and the risk reward collapses. And frequency has to be enough or variance burns you again. The instinct is that the more screen time, more trades, lower time frames equals more money. Drop from a 20 pip stop to a 5 pip stop, and the same slippage that cost you 2% of the position now costs you 8% of the position. Your commissions multiply because a tiny stop means a bigger lot size. Same example, 4x the commission. Those aren't risks, they are fixed cost, guaranteed, stacking on every single trade. And I tested this because I wanted to be true. I wanted the lower time frames to mean more trades and more money. But after 2 months, once I looked at the real face, the spread, the slippage, the commissions, the edge that looked better on paper just didn't look better anymore. And that's before we even talk about doing it while you had a fight with your wife, or no sleep, or after 5 losses in a row, 2 days running. The math says trade less. The cost says trade less. The reality says trade less. Everything says trade less. 3. If you can't reach 100 trades before you burn out, there is no point starting. So be honest about the life you are building. Do you have a family or are you single? Do you genuinely want to be at the charts every day, especially after what we just talked about? Or would you rather make 20% less and actually be free? In my opinion, swing it on the 1 hour, 15-20 trades a month, limit orders so you are barely watching a screen, and let trading sit in the background of your life instead of swallowing it. And here is a bonus for sticking around to the end. Most traders, even after hearing all of this, still walk away thinking the same way. Okay, so I need to be more disciplined. I need to trust my edge more. Every one of those is the same mistake, wearing a different mask. The luck problem. You didn't fix it by becoming calmer, more patient person. You fixed it with a sample size, a tested range, and clean execution. The talent problem. You didn't fix it by being bored sharper. You fixed it with reps, rules, and the environment around the trade. Every answer has the same shape. Not a better you, a better structure around you. But there is one more trap, and it's the cruelest one, because it hits the people who are smart enough to understand everything I just said. So watch this video next. It's why the smartest traders are usually the broke ones and why you should trade dumb instead.